Although Valorant is loaded with fun and enjoyable characters who I love, Chamber is different. I love being able to teleport to the other side of the map with the snap of my finger, ignore the pun. I've played a lot as Chamber and know him well. Over the course of his time in the game, I've come up with these specialist spots to use his abilities and dominate in the battlefield. Special spots that I'll be sharing with you right now. I give you my best Chamber setups and defending for every map. Now, a couple of side notes, I did do a video for Chamber on attacking, and that's actually a really nice one, so this is kind of like part 2 of a Chamber guide, I guess. I will be using the minimap for this guide, just because I have no means of getting the pictures I want without the video taking 2 years to make and it all looking like found footage. I'll try to buzz through the list, but if you need any further explanation or anything along those lines, just let me know in the comments. Alright, let's do this. Let's start with my favorite map, Split. We'll be going over A Site first. I like to race over to A ramps and drop a rendezvous here and a trademark there. Then run back to A screens and place my final rendezvous right about here. You don't want it too close to the opening where enemies could see you teleport. Then quickly use the rendezvous and you should end up here again. That's basically it. I suggest peeking this corner, and when an enemy shows up, you take a few shots, maybe a few kills, just try not to die, then you teleport back to screens, peek down A main, and try to keep them from pushing up top or down the hall. If no one shows up, no worries, you can listen for any movement before jumping down, but you do want to go sooner than later, because if you time it right, you can catch the enemies with their butts facing you in mid-mail. If no one is going A, then you have two options. Teleport back to screens and go to B through your spawn, or go through mid, the latter being the more aggressive one. Now, while A Site didn't really rely on traps, just the rendezvous, really, this B Site will. From spawn, race up to Haven and drop a rendezvous here and a trademark there. Fall down, make sure not to jump so you don't take damage at the beginning, and place your last rendezvous here or here, depending on which one you're gonna do. This one's more defensive, this one's more aggressive. I'm going with the aggressive one for this demonstration. And then your final trademark right there. Now, when the match starts, you can peek this corner or whatever you get comfortable with. If enemies are coming, simply fall back. You can try to get a few shots off, but I don't usually advise this. Go all the way around this center thing and peek down B main. Just keep the enemies from pushing the site. And remember, the second you get a kill or the enemies shoot at you, teleport away. Also keep in mind, the second the walls go down, you have to be ready and very aware for an enemy to trigger or destroy your trademark up on Haven. If this happens, immediately teleport up and take them out. It's always better to go up into enemy territory than to try and fight an uphill battle. If the enemies are trying their luck on A Site, simply teleport away and make sure to recall all your traps. For A Site Bind, this one is a little complicated, but I have two variants. If you like defending A Site by guarding mid, then your variant is on the right. If you like guarding A by hanging around showers, then yours is on the left. But if you like just generally holding this area and having some fun by reaching all the way over to B short and then back again in a split second, then you'll want to race over to showers, but before you get there, drop a rendezvous here, and then put that trademark over there on this little box thing here next to showers. Now, this one is really tricky, but if you pull it off, it's really fun and rewarding, though I wouldn't recommend this in higher ranks at all. It's kind of sloppy, there's a more organized way to do it, but, you know, you just mess with it a few times, you'll have your own way of doing it. If anyone shows up, jump through the teleporter, immediately place your rendezvous and wait a second. It'll be close, you will have barely enough room to place the rendezvous, but it's still enough that you can walk out of the teleporter, the walls of the teleporter close, and you can still rub against the wall and teleport back. It's nice. Now you have some options here. You can use the rendezvous and be back here. The enemies will expect you to be rotating with your team or something else, so they won't be really expecting you back here, or you can flank the enemies. Whatever it is, it's up to you. And now for B Site. Run as fast as you can up here and place your rendezvous right here. Put a trademark right there, jump down and stroll on over to this spot here. Place your second rendezvous right here and stare down B long. If anyone triggers or destroys your trademark, fall back, get a pick, then teleport. This one is interesting. For Split B Site, when your trademark goes off, teleport away immediately. Don't do this here. If you teleport, then you'll end up in the first spot anyone who's played this game for more than an hour will check and clear. They might destroy your rendezvous, but it's a lot better than you. Oh wow, that's kind of a cool song. So trademark goes off, no worries. Walk back here and get a kill. Check really quickly to see if anybody is still in hookah. If no, teleport away and wait a bit to catch any unsuspecting enemies off guard. Just be aware of this spot here. For Haven A Site, I usually like to get on top of these crates and mess around with enemies, but a more organized and effective way to do it would be to drop a trademark right here. Sounds interesting, but stick with me though. Put a rendezvous here and put another trademark there. Your final rendezvous right here. You can also experiment with the first rendezvous being here instead, but it's up to you. Teleport up to the second one, the one on top of the crates, right before the match begins. Boom. I like to stare down this hallway here. If anyone is there, you get a kill, snap your finger, and reset. If anyone crawls over from B site or your spawn, you'll know about it from your trademark. If anyone walks over here, you'll be alerted, easy. You'll start to see a pattern for this map. I like to get on top of the crates again. Yes, I know, cheesy, but it works. So, your biggest worry on this spot for flankers is the C site area. A site is usually the most popular site for people to attack and defend. Most of your team, usually, not all the time, but still, they're going to be camping on A site. That means you have to be aware of C site. So put a rendezvous here and a trademark there. Put your second teleport up on top of the middle crate and teleport up. Then claim your first one on the ground and drop that one right over here, which is also on a crate. You can drop your second trademark over in this area right here, which is what I like to do. So the match begins, you get a kill from someone peeking window. You don't teleport, crouch and look around, but only teleport if there are other people in window, like more than 2, or peeking this angle. Oh no, a flanker is coming from C site area. No worries, you'll know about it. And finally, my favorite, C site. Put a rendezvous here and here. Drop a trademark in this spot right here. It'll keep B site flankers from getting you. And put your last trademark right here. This one is optional. If you know the whole enemy team is going to push C site from C long, then use the additional trademark right here. Unless you can ace it from all the way back here, you're going to need to slow them down. I like to stand right about here, get a pick or two, and if they know you're there, don't go super crazy on peeking, you can get wiped out pretty easily. Teleport away and clear garage, then push through garage to either flank them, which by the time you complete it will give them the site, or go through here and cut them off. For Icebox, I don't usually have an actual specific setup for each map, but I do have a really good one that will allow you to flank pretty easily if they're focused on planting. Place a rendezvous here, sprint over the kitchen, and put a trademark right here in this corner. Then wait a second for the walls to go down and run down here. While you're running, place your final rendezvous somewhere near. Peek through this area right here and clear mid. You get a kill, teleport, because people can rush you easily. So, sorry for the lack of advice on this map, just put a trademark on high levels near choke points. Rendezvous on this map, especially B site, is insane. It's really hard to find a decent spot without using all your trademarks just to make sure you won't get teleport camped. Now, I know I don't really need to say this, but Fracture is a very different kind of map. So, understandably, we're going to be taking a very different style here. We're going to place our first rendezvous on each site in a very specific place. In all the other maps, we use our teleports to get a kill and get out safely, like a reset. For Fracture, we're going to be doing a little recon, using the first rendezvous as an anchor point or a fallback point. For A site, you place your first rendezvous up here or down below. This spot works as well, but you effectively give them sight. Up here is great, but be ready for everyone to expect it. It's better to fight on the higher ground, but it's always better to surprise them. So you want to clear A hall. You can go down these 2 routes. Place your last rendezvous here or here, depending on where you're going. And if you want to go A drop, put your rendezvous right here. And remember that the first rendezvous shouldn't move. It's the fallback point. You can experiment with it, but it shouldn't really move. Don't be predictable, but you get the point. Feel free to leave a trademark wherever you're not going. If you want to go A drop, place a couple near choke points on A hall. B site is the same thing, but really tricky. I don't really ever go on this site to defend this chamber, but when I do, my first rendezvous, I want you to complete this one for me, or my fallback point. Good job. Wow, Dora the Explorer. So my first rendezvous is usually around here. Always put a trademark where enemies could pop out and find you and kill you while you teleport. It's the same thing. If you want to clear this, put a teleport there. If you want to clear that, blah, 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 blah. Now, Breeze is really fun. A site, I want to put a trademark so anyone who tries to push this area will alert me, and through me, my team. My first rendezvous right here, try to get it so that no one from mid, wood, doors, or A cave can see you. Then my next rendezvous right here. This one is much more aggressive than the others. Put your last trademark over here, but it's up to you. When an enemy hops out of mid, you get the kill. Be very aware of your flank, a cave. In fact, just teleport over and peek over and get a kill. Easy. B Site. Man, I love this one. Put a rendezvous here and a trademark there. Race over and place your last teleport and trademark right here and here. So when the match begins, anyone comes around from mid will alert you via trademark. Try to kill them before they can make it out from under the tunnel. If you don't and they get out for the tunnel, you cannot teleport. They might destroy it or whatever. If you do, they will instantly take you out easily. Do not do this. You can teleport over to stop them, but I wouldn't advise this. So don't teleport. Keep them over there until your team can rotate, then you should be good. If anyone tries to go through B main, then they'll be slowed and it'll be an easy target. You pop a few bits of lead into them and teleport away. That is, unless someone is over there, of course. A Site Ascent. I like to go a little more aggressive on this one. Put a trademark here and the rendezvous there. Put your last slow and teleport right here and here. Now you might need to build up with the teleports to get to the top crates. If that's the case, no problem, just recall the first rendezvous and keep building up. Once you got the top, jump down and replace the teleport to its original position. One being on the ground and one being up on top of the crates or the boxes, whatever. Close the doors and that's pretty much it. Also, make sure to teleport quickly back to the top before the match begins. When the enemies come through mid, you'll know, and when they try to push through here, you'll be in the last spot they'll expect. Don't do this on top of the crates thing like too many times in a row. Try to mix it up with you being down here or over there, or whatever it is. Whatever the case is, if you get a kill or two, teleport away, peek them, and destroy them. Now for B Site. I like to put my first rendezvous here and a trademark here and here. It's similar to the way overused Killjoy setup. Then run over to mid and get ready to place your last teleport. Now you want to wait until the match has begun and the walls have already dropped before you place the final teleport. What we're looking for is it being in this area right here. Then quickly pull out your gun and watch this area. Anybody trying to get through mid will be sorry. If your trademark is destroyed or triggered, teleport over and be ready. Now this is tricky. Try to peek enough of this angle to make sure no one is going to jump out and kill you for at least like 5 seconds or so. Then you can move in slowly to site and get ready to take anyone out. They should be slowed so you've got some time. Be aware of your flank though. So what do you think of my setups? By far, Split B Site, Breeze B Site, and Bind B Site are my favorites. I'll have more VALORANT tips and trick videos coming out soon, so if you have any ideas, please feel free to let me know. I hope you're having a great day, and remember, life is short. Play great games. I've talked before on how overpowered Chamber is, and the fact that he shouldn't even be in the game. But for all you people who want to take an already OP agent and make him an even more of a beast, you've come to the right place. I'm almost hesitant to make this video because I know that I'll be playing with you guys at some point. Chamber has a strange set of abilities. He's meant to be a defender like Killjoy or Cypher, but that doesn't